Hi, in this tutorial, we'll talk about Adobe Audition. There are two ways to work in Adobe Audition. First is to open Adobe Audition and start a new project. And the other way around is, because we talk about the Adobe bundle, yes, it's a really easy way to switch between programs. As you've seen, from Premiere Pro to Adobe Media Encoder, we can do the same from Premiere Pro to After Effects and to Audition. So let's see how we do that. I'm here in Adobe Premiere Pro. I finished my editing. I've selected my selection, and I want to work the sound more in depth in a dedicated sound software. So I'll use Adobe Audition Pro. There are a lot of other sound softwares like Nuendo, Cubase, Pro Tools, and a lot of music softwares. Of course, again, if you know how to work in one software, you'll find it easy in a couple of days to manage to work in a different one because they are the same principles. Of course, the different shortcuts, a different interface, but it's important for you to understand what you need to do with the sound. I'll go here on Edit and press Edit in Adobe Audition. I can choose a clip, but I want to work my entire sequence. So I'll simply press the sequence and I need to rename this. Let's say Connect Sound and simply add OK, press OK. It will open Adobe Audition for me in a couple of seconds. And this is how the interface of Adobe Audition looks like. As you see, I have both my tracks, my audio tracks here. I have my video track here. I can start working. So first in Adobe Audition, you need to know that you go to Edit, like in Premiere Pro, Preferences, and here at Audio Hardware, you should select according to your own equipment and your own, I don't know, devices that you have at home. So if you have more than one mic, select the one you want to have. If you have speakers or, I don't know, a different setup, yes. And also audio channel mapping, yes. You should select which track of audio should go to which output, to the microphone, left stereo. If you have a 5.1 setup, a surround system at home, yes, use the channel mapping accordingly. Let's leave it like this. Here I have my files. I can always import more files like in Premiere Pro. Yes, files. Let's press the play, yes, and I can hear all the elements here in my timeline are present here, or the cuts, and I can hear, oh, it's the right song or not. If I play this one, it's always a loop playback, right? And I can, okay, so it's a good way to test if you imported the right stuff. If I double click one file from here, let's say this one, then it will appear like this on the entire Adobe Audition screen. This can help me to see various things, like for instance, the duration of the clip. Yes, a couple of 3 minutes, a little bit more. The frequency range. Yes, maybe there are problems in the lower frequency range or in the higher frequency range. It's good. I have a stereo track, so I see the left and right tracks. Here you can see there are different modes of working. I'm in the default mode, different module, but we can switch to advanced mixing, for instance, if you're in the mixing phase. Yes, and it will look like this. Or you can work with restoration. This means to clean up your sound if it has noise, if it has a hum or buzz. Like in Premiere Pro, you can switch between workspaces. Here it's the same. Let's say classic again, or switch back to default. Here in my window menu, I can press the history button, like in Photoshop, like in all the others. And I have here, it appeared here, all the things that I've done. If I cut some element, if I increase the volume on sound element, let's say we do this. Let's say we select this and delete it. Yes, so I can see here, okay, this action is remembered by Audition, so I can always undo it. Yes, if I made many other changes, then they would appear here, and then I can always switch back to them. So it's good to remember that nothing is forever, so you can always undo it. Okay, I'll go back to my project, and here I'm in the editor mode, and here I'm in the mixer mode. So I have how many tracks now? Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a master track. Of course, these are empty, but as you can see, the mixer remembers all my tracks and the master output. So like in Premiere Pro, when I have the possibility to have the audio workspace, I can add here some sounds. I can work with the volume, but at this point, it's better not to do it. Just remember that it exists. And when you're finished with the edit, with the sound editing, then you can look for your mixing. In Adobe Audition, you can also have selections with in and out. So it's really intuitive. It's the same thing. And if you wanna hear a fragment many times, so that you can detect maybe, I don't know, sounds that you don't wanna hear, or work on it and hear it a couple of times, you can press this loop playback, and the moment it will reach the out point, it will go back. Characters, the location, setting the mood. It's really important to know the characters, the location, setting the mood. It's over and over again looping. It's good to know this feature. Okay, I will unclick it now, because sometimes really want to dig in and clean up your sound. I can always change the view of my tracks if I want to work on them more precisely and see all the details. I can simply click Alt and scroll, and I'll have them bigger or smaller. Okay. I can always use the buttons if you don't prefer shortcuts, or if you don't have, I don't know what you're working on, a Mac, a PC. So remember, everything can be done by clicking the mouse or by using shortcuts or scrolling down. The zoom in and zoom out can be done, as I said, with these buttons, but also by clicking minus and plus, like in Premiere Pro, or control and scroll again. Here, I have the duration of my sound project. If I right click, I can always change to a different setting. According to what you're working, according to what you need, you can always change this maybe to samples or to bars and beats if you're working with music. This can also be done in Premiere Pro. I didn't show you then, but remember, you can there also change this time display. Okay, the way we work in Adobe Premiere Pro is pretty similar also here in Adobe Audition. This means each track can be muted. Yeah, so at this time I hear only the music. Here, yeah, you can see so remember to undo this if you want to export with all the tracks, all the selections, or if you want to get rid of some track, let it mute, let it like this. You can always change inputs and outputs, again, according to your own equipment, your microphones and setup that you have at home. You can always change to a stereo or to a 5.1 if you have this kind of equipment at home. What you're gonna do is You can always change the volume of a file. Yes, by simply lowering or moving this line, this horizontal line. Yes, and you can see how many decibels you increased or decreased the volume. You can add fade-ins, fade-outs, or crossfades. Here, it's a little square. If you can drag it, so you can drag it to the left or to the right. And if you move your mouse downwards, it will change the aspect of the fade in and the fade out. So it's no rule for these. You really need to listen and to see what option best suits your needs in that different card situation. Okay. If I select a piece of sound, I can always see here, let's make it a little bit different, selection view. I can see the start point, the end point, and the duration. Okay, so here, yes, okay. How do we add effects to our sound clips? Here in the effects rack, I have possibility to add plugins to process my sound, and I'll simply choose, let's say, for the moment, parametric equalizer, and it will pop out. This means on this clip, yes, on this track actually, sorry, I'll have this plugin that I can use how I want, whatever I want. I can always choose between track effects and clip effects. Yes, so as I said, the track effect means I'll select an effect that affects my entire track and everything that's on it. Yes, or simply an effect that is put only on the selection, only on the clip, only on this one, or only on what I have selected currently. I can always switch between waveform view and multi-track view. If I'm in the waveform view, I can really see, oh, here is something that I want to get rid of, or the audio file is pretty loud, distorted. Yes, it's clipped. The waveform is really, I don't know, affected, and it has to be repaired if we can repair it. And in the multi-track, I see all my projects. So it's good to know that you can toggle between these views in order to work on your project. Again, I have the tools like in Premiere Pro. I have the razor tool with which I cut different things, and then I switch back to the arrow key. I'll hit zoom to see what I'm working here on. Timeline, really zoom in, and maybe I want to get rid of this one and press delete. Okay, I have a gap, but it's no problem. As in Premiere Pro, we can simply move these red brackets and cut some things out from the beginning or at the end. If I overlap things, it will automatically create a crossfade, which I can get rid of if I don't want it to. Yes, or I can make it bigger. Yeah, all the shapes and all the forms that I want, but while listening, yes, I mean, it's not something that you do because it looks good. You have to listen and see how it sounds, how the transition sounds, so that it's not too obvious. So you can do volume changes, you can do fades, and you can add keyframes. Keyframes are here also important asset that you have. You can add them by simply pressing here on the keyframes, and then let's say you want to increase the volume or decrease the volume at a certain point, let's say in music, right? And we're gonna do this right away. There are two lines actually. There are the lines for, there is the line for the volume, which we can increase and decrease by using keyframes, and the line for the panning. What means panning? If you hear the sound from both left and right speaker, or if you hear the sound only from the left or the right, or coming in like a car passing by right from left to right. So you can add keyframes to simulate this this movement, this transition. I will do it really extreme for you and solo the track so that we can hear what we've done. Wide shots, yes, where the action takes place, with a descriptive role. With okay, unfortunately, I forgot to unsolo this one too, so I wanted to show you only with my voice. So here we are at left 100%. And here we are at right 100%. And if we play it again by using solo only on the music, you can see here, yes, it decreases in volume, it goes from left to right, and you can always see here in the level meter down, in the lower part of your audition, that it really maintained your automation. Yes, everything that you do with keyframes means automation. You automate a parameter, you automate a plugin, you automate something that it happens in real time at that specific moment that you want it to happen. The types of effects that you can add to your tracks or to your clips, let's say we use here this one, are a bunch of them. You can use filters to play a little bit with the voiceover or with the music to make a music sound, let's say like coming from a radio. Then you can have a low cut or a high cut in your sound. Yes, so obviously now it's really basic what I'm doing, and add other things, and it will keep them in the order that you added them. There are a lot of effects and a lot of plugins. Obviously, I cannot explain everything to you right now. You can also add a little compression, a limiter, if you want to be sure that the peaks of your audio file don't go up beyond a certain level, which would cause distorted sound. Yes, so distortion isn't preferred, isn't really a good thing, and everyone can detect distortion. So be sure to keep this in mind when you have a voice that is not well recorded, or you have various sound elements happening simultaneously, music and voiceover and effects. You should really pay attention to the volume. Yes, and this is where you can look at the mixer while playing. Okay, we're at the right element, and never go beyond 0, or let's say, yes, 0 would be a good option, to have everything up 0 or minus 0.2, something like that. It's really depending on the target your video has. If you want to broadcast it, if you want to screen it in theaters, if you want to put it online, there are different standards, yes, that you can easily find online. So it's not it's useless now to complicate you with all this technical information. But depending on what you're working on, you can find the certain requirements online. And all these plugins you can put, as I said, on the clip or on the track and play with them. So we finished our sound work, and we want to export our session. Entire session, and I can select here the format that I want to have. Yes, maybe I recommend not to use MP3. It's a lossy format. I recommend you to work with WAV formats, or look, FLAC, or the others are when you're really editing sound on a professional level. But a WAV file is really the best option for you. Rename the file as you wanted to have it. Choose the location, yes, with browse, and then it will automatically export your entire mix, your entire project. And yeah, it's then you will have a separate sound file that you can import in Premiere Pro, and then re-export your entire video. This means the video from Premiere Pro, and here the processed audio file from your video, edit there, and then yeah, simply matching those two, and you have your final video.